dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 178. 178. Chris, are you there? Chris,
I'm
we
here.
Missed you. Oh, he's there. All right. Haven't seen you in it feels like a month and a half.
It's getting damn near to be like that.
Lorenzo was asking if you were still part of the podcast, and I assured him that you were. So he was ready to cut you out of the payroll real quick.
If he's ready to pick up a microphone and hee-haw into that fucking thing, he's more than welcome to.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So there you go. So, Trail Hero hangover. Full Trail Hero hangover. James called me this morning, and I answered the phone. What did I say? I said the Trail Hero post-depression hotline. Yeah, it was, it's a real thing, man. You wake up, and you're like, I'm not in my camper. I'm not in St. Hollow. I'm not a Trail Hero. It's over with.
We've talked about this before. It's the PPD,
Yes.
the post-party blues.
It happens at Hammers. It happens at Trail Hero and Meadow Lake. Fordyce there. But anyways, we're here. We're making it happen. Fully got submerged back into reality.
Oh, yeah.
And as much as I was kicking and screaming.
Looks like it slapped you upside the head a couple times, too.
It did. Exactly. So, needle and thread.
Yes, sir.
One of the many podcasts, it was busy. It was a busy week, but sat down with Amber and Dolly, who are doing the Rebelle Rally.
Awesome.
Alicia was there.
Yeah, they did it. She and her girlfriend
Georgia
did it a
Boy's
while
wife.
back.
Yeah, they did it a few years ago, so that was good info, good intel there. And then Joe, who Dolly invited into our camp for Trail Hero, his first time, he is the Vehicross expert, the Isuzu Vehicross expert. So he gave some good insight of the Vehicross and, kind of what it is and what drivetrain it's got and how it all works. So
It turns out that's an extraordinarily rare vehicle.
it is a rare vehicle, and it's got some nuances to it that are unique. I mean, not good or bad or indifferent. It's just they're unique. So, let's just get right into this episode, shall we? They are currently navigating across the Western Desert, I think, right now. So
Nevada, somewhere in Nevada.
Nevada, yeah. So,
Yeah. All right, well, let's make this happen. Let's roll it. Boom.
Okay, we are still here at Trail Hero 2022 in this awesome camp. Beautiful weather. And our guest this morning, this is plural, is Checkpoint Dolly.
Checkpoint Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
In the house.
And sitting next to you is, who's that?
Tee-hee.
Tee-hee. Amber Turner's back on the podcast. Ultra 4 Jones, he's way behind now. This is
poor guy.
Yeah, you're like 6, 7 ahead on him now. And then we also have sitting across from you is Alicia. How are you doing, Alicia?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's
I
been a
know.
while.
And my last one was the bourbon tasting.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so that was over a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Great. And then we have Joe in the background here that's going to chime in. How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good.
Right on. Okay, Joe is our V-Cross expert that we're going to be chatting with. So this is good. Well, welcome. And we are gathered here this morning for talk about Rebelle Rally 2022, which you are leaving for tomorrow morning.
Oh, we're leaving for tomorrow morning, 4:30 in the morning.
Woo! You won't see me.
Catching a shuttle, going to Vegas, and flying to Reno. Picking up the Vehicross, and then off to Tahoe.
Okay, so does it start Thursday or Friday, or what day does it technically? When do you gather?
We gather tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow we're doing pre-tech.
Okay.
And we gather tomorrow, and then we do official tech the next day, and the first day starts on Saturday.
Got it.
First stage.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about how this idea came about that you wanted to participate in this with your daughter.
Oh, that's interesting.
Take it all the way back.
Let's see. I can't because I'm emotional. I can't do it. Oh, sorry. Can you do it?
I can try to get the story right, but you're going to have to chime
I'll
in.
chime
Okay,
in, but
she'll
I just
correct.
can't.
Because I know that you and I have wanted to do it basically since it started, right? We've been following it the entire time. And then Jesse Combs passed away in
Yep.
19, so that was my inspiration for racing. And like a huge kick in the ass for a lot of people to just, follow your dreams. So, and then Jackie, your sister, passed away.
In 2020.
Yeah, in 2020.
Okay.
And at least the inspiring part for me was that she finally had a part of her life where she was able to go out and start traveling and doing the things that she wanted, even though she'd been a mother and a daughter her entire life. And she was finally just like free. So she passed away and kind of kicked us in the ass again. And you turned 65.
I turned 65 this year.
Just a number.
And now you want to do what you want, right?
Yeah.
Chasing your
All four of
dreams.
my kids are out of the house. We're empty nesters, and I'm 65, and I got to prove to myself that I've still got it.
Oh, you've always had it, Mom. You're a badass.
Never lost it.
You question yourself when you turn 65.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Every morning when you get out of bed and it creaks.
Oh, God. So that's kind of been the all the pushing factors towards Rebelle Rally. This year was the year. I think we came off a Trail Hero last year.
Right.
And Rebelle Rally was just starting, and Mom was like, screw it, we're doing it.
Yeah. And I watched it live last year, and as soon as they said registration is open, I chimed in and got on there.
Signed up.
Yep. Took the big bite and did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then you're driving the Vehicross, which is very unique in itself, a Isuzu.
It's a unicorn.
A unicorn. It is a unicorn. It's very cool. And you outfitted it with a bunch of red dots. Your team name is called Rockin' the Dots.
Rockin' the Dots.
So that's super
In
cool.
honor of Jesse Combs.
Exactly, in honor of Jesse Combs, and you're here wearing the scarves right now. Jesse Combs Foundation red scarf with the white dots. So you're going to have the yellow V-Cross with red dots out there. It's going to be not hard to miss at all.
A photographer's dream color.
It really is. Really is. So you guys are going to get a lot of airtime. I know that's going to be awesome. So you've been, I know we've been on a few trips together camping, and you're out there with your maps and compass and sextants or whatever you guys are using because you cannot use, this is 100% no GPS, no electronics. They take your phone and you are strictly, here's a map, here's the points you need to hit, and good luck, everybody else, and they send you on your way. So you've been diligently studying all that, and that's where Alicia comes in because she is a veteran to Rebelle Rally. She's been there, done that, and so I know you've been leaning on her quite a bit to get a lot of information and what to do, what not to do, and how to do certain things. So that's super cool. So Alicia, what was like your number one first advice to Amber and Dolly?
My first advice is basically create a rhythm for themselves, because if you don't have a pattern, who does what, you're going to get, it just becomes more frustrating. And so you want to limit the frustration. So you just become a team. Each one has their assigned things from start to the morning till the end of the day. Cross train, make sure you both know how to drive and you both know how to navigate.
Okay.
Because I know for my partner and I, she didn't like the sand. And so we were able to switch drivers, and she could navigate and I can drive in the sand, which help us continue to compete.
Got it. So is that how is that going to play in? Who's starting off driving? Who's navigating? Would you guys have a game plan?
I'm going to be driver.
Okay.
Because Amber is
You
so
keep
good.
thinking that. Sorry,
How
Mom.
are you going to? I know. How are you going to keep her out of the driver's seat?
I was going to say, how do you keep her from going upside down?
Well, there's that
dang
too.
it.
Don't do that at the Rebelle Rally.
Well,
That is-
Amber is so good because she's a fabricator. She's
Right.
so good at measuring. So it's like she's the natural navigator.
I see.
Natural navigator.
Okay.
And me, I hate to say it, but 10 inches for me is really wide range of measurement.
Okay.
Or a small range of measurement. So I'm not a real good navigator. In fact, my husband and I'd probably be divorced if it wasn't for GPS. Both of our GPSs.
Well, yeah, and then Alicia could speak to this. There's got to be times that are super intense where you're yelling at each other to go this way. No, we got to go this way, or whatever. I mean, that conversation has to come up early on. It's like, hey, we're gonna yell at each other, but at the end of the day, we're gonna hug it out. So those issues got to come up, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, my partner and I, we basically had a phrase that when one of us hit our bullshit meter and we wanted to walk away, we just, we had a phrase and we just walked away, and the other one, didn't hold it against him.
What was the phrase? Pineapple or something?
I think it was, I need a minute. But I mean, the big thing is also paying attention if you know your partner well enough for the signs beforehand.
Okay.
And being able to whether recommend that they drink more water, more electrolytes, get something to eat. The worst thing is being hangry on the road.
Right.
And knowing when that you need to move on.
Okay.
Mutually agreeing you're not going to bang your head to find something and potentially lose the rest of the points for the day. It's just, knowing each other's signs.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that's really your strong point, too. Obviously, you're my mom. You're really good at taking care of me.
I'm kind of bossy, too.
We're both kind of bossy.
I know what your strengths are and your weaknesses. One weakness is keeping all rubber on the ground.
Gosh dang it.
That's why you're not driving all the time.
That is a well-documented weakness there.
Especially this week. Going back to it, though, I've kind of been thinking about the same thing because my mom's been really hyped on this whole subject and just getting ready for Rebelle Rally. It's pretty tense at this point.
Yeah.
And I think back to before I raced King of the Hammers the first year because Stuart, my brother, was my co-driver.
Right.
And so I think I was talking to him days before we took the green flag on the phone. And I'm freaking out, and I'm in the same tense state of mind as Rebelle Rally right now. And he tells me, he's like, you know what? We're going to get lost anyways.
Well, there you
Let's
go.
just have fun, right?
Yeah, and it just brought it all into perspective for me, and I was like, I just need to calm down. It's just going to play itself out, and it'll all work out in the end.
That is a very good attitude, and it's the right attitude because there's stuff that you could plan for that is never going to happen, and vice versa. There's stuff that you never planned for that's going to happen. And it's like, okay, you just got to roll with the punches, right?
Yeah.
Just like four-wheeling.
Yeah, big punches.
Yeah, just waiting for that third day. They say the third day.
It's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a thing, apparently.
It's a thing,
Where you-
Alicia?
Yeah, I
Is that
have
where
to
everybody
agree.
hits the wall, or what is it? What's going on?
We did. We ended up getting lost in the Nevada desert around the wandering donkeys. Now, we found our way back, but
Was Lorenzo out there?
I saw a couple Lorenzo
Okay,
cousins.
all
Let
right.
me tell you.
All right.
And you just have to recognize it's time to stop and regather and maybe backtrack. But there's a lot of teams that don't because that they're so driven, and then by the time they get back, they're so exhausted they're at each other's throats. And it really is about dialing yourself back. What's your true goal for the Rebelle? If it's to win, then there's a different mentality.
Got it.
If it's going out there for a life experience, which that was for what me and my girlfriend were out there to do, there's a total different list of priorities. And one of our top priorities was to finish as friends.
Yeah.
And we actually we managed to get 2 out of the 3. The third one that we weren't able to get is not breaking down. We did end up having to change a tire.
Oh, well, that's not
Not a
huge
big one
thing.
compared
Yeah.
to some of the others.
Right.
I think that's to be expected, is
Yeah.
changing tires. So
Yeah.
You're good. You didn't break.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't bust an oil pan.
No.
Yes.
That's good.
And that could happen.
So, so you're hours away from starting this epic journey. So what's going through your mind? What's mentally where you at with this whole Rebelle Rally thing?
I'm a hot mess today.
Are you?
I'm a hot
You
mess.
look-
I've already
you
been
look-
in tears 4 times.
Are you? You're like a duck because on the outside here you look fine, but underwater you're just treading away, huh?
Yeah, I feel
'Cause-
like an ADHD kid today. I can't, just can't get focused, and I'm just all over the map.
Yeah,
My
but I-
brain won't stop.
Knowing you've already got everything packed and ready to go, so it's just a matter of getting to the V-Cross and getting to the registration, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
it is.
See?
It's a matter of
So that's
getting
comforting.
there. It is.
Yeah.
It's taken a lot of work. I mean, we've been at it for a whole year.
Yeah.
And it started, we weren't sure what we were going to use as a vehicle.
Right.
And so we finally got that nailed down and decided on the Vehicross. We bought it 4 years ago and got the idea. Eric loved that car.
Uh-huh.
Kept talking about it. I said, just go buy it.
Right.
So we finally get it home, and I said, well, I can do Rebelle in this, right? Yeah. So so that's what we did. We're gonna do Rebelle in that little Go Devil.
So-
And it is a Go Devil, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about this V-Cross because it is a unique vehicle. It's an Isuzu. So we got Joe here, our expert V-Cross. So Joe, you run a Facebook page or something for V-Crosses, or
Yeah, we
tell
have
us a little bit about yourself.
We have a Facebook page for VX addicts, and once you get a Vehicross, you kind of become an addict fairly quickly. They suck you in. They're fun little cars.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I just do admin for the page on Facebook, and we try and keep it a little less boisterous, shall we say, than
Okay.
some of the Facebook pages.
Okay.
To encourage younger kids, families, everybody to get involved
So
with
it's
the
friendly.
VX.
It's a friendly page.
It's a very friendly
Good.
page.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And very helpful.
Oh, you've been a great help for me.
Thanks. I mean, there's a
That
lot
is-
of people there
yeah.
with even more
A
knowledge than I
great
have. But it's-
resource of information.
Yeah, the page itself is a great resource of information, file sections, everything. And, people have owned them from the 99 up till now. So they know them well.
Okay. That's cool, and that's how Joe got to our camp here. Is you found him on Facebook, and then started. Hey, I need some info because we're going to be doing this Rebelle Rally thing.
Yeah,
And-
invited him to come out and play with us.
And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we're going to this really cool event called Trail Hero, and so yeah, that's cool. So welcome,
It's
Joe.
an interesting car to choose to do the Rebelle Ed because it'll draw some attention.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that.
So let's talk about what kind of drivetrain we got. Just talk about what a V-Cross is and what
Well-
year. What year is yours, Dolly?
It's a 2001.
2001. Okay.
There's somewhat of a misconception that it was a failed production vehicle.
Okay.
It was never intended to be a production vehicle. It was basically a kind of halo design exercise for Isuzu to put together some interesting stuff that they were playing with.
Okay.
For instance, the body molds were made out of ceramic, not steel.
Wow.
Limited life. You can get about 6,000 pressings out of a
Okay.
ceramic mold. So it was never intended to be a full production vehicle. There were just less than 6,000 built worldwide, 4,153 U.S. spec. The rest were JDM, so Japanese market,
Sure.
Australia, New Zealand. But the bulk of them came here.
Okay.
Drivetrain-wise, the interesting part of the drivetrain on the VX is the Borg-Warner torque-on-demand system, which essentially is way ahead of its time, back in the late 90s, but computer-driven sensors that they feel the slippage
Okay.
in the tires and can, in an instant, direct power to where it needs for road holding. So, like, in default, it's 85% back drive, 15% front wheel drive.
Okay.
And as traction is, needed up front and stuff, it shifts and it does this kind of automatically.
Automatically.
Yeah.
So it's a transfer case, essentially.
It's a transfer,
similar
transfer
Yeah.
case with, I'm no electrician or computer
Some
guy.
clutches,
with
some
the smart
gizmos,
stuff.
some widgets that
Lots of widgets
can,
and gizmos
Okay.
that take the power and put it where it's needed.
So is there a low range or anything
Yeah,
on this?
there is
a low
4
range. Okay.
low.
Okay.
There is complete 4 low.
Okay.
The TOD, the torque on demand, is I live in California, so I don't have to worry about ice and snow.
Right.
But if you're somewhere where there's ice and snow, the torque on demand is great for that because it's not full-blown 4-wheel drive, but it gives you that 4-wheel power when it's needed. But then for off-roading and stuff, full-time 4 low. And the VX actually it kind of surprised people and has done well in off-roading. It had some success in its class in the Dakar and in Australia, the big Australian rallies.
Okay.
And even over here, I mean, I've been working on mine. I've had mine 18 years, and anybody that works on cars, they're constantly changing. But it's been interesting here. The sand, she's not so happy in, but on rock and stuff like in Moab, they'll keep up with $80,000-$90,000 Jeeps.
Right on.
They're very easy to lift. They're very easy to do good, simple modifications that produce great returns in terms of off-roading performance.
So is it solid axle? Is it independent?
No, IFS up front.
Okay.
Solid axle at the back.
Okay.
IFS isn't, ideal in some circumstances, but it's better in others.
Well, yeah.
It's one of those trade-offs. Sure. I've got a diff drop on mine because otherwise you start cranking her up front. She's got torsion bar suspension.
Okay.
Excuse me. So wind that up to get. I've squeezed 35-inch tires under mine, and the stock is 29. So you can wind up the torsion bars and lift the front up, and then you start getting really, really bad CV angles.
Right.
So then it's the domino effect.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you go for a diff drop, and then you do this. But to take it to a simple level, like to a 33-inch, 32-inch tire, and really have some fun off-road, new rear coils, and crank the torsion bars, and she's ready to go.
Nice.
We'll be running in the bone stock class.
Okay.
We are bone stock. So the Vehicross came out with Recaro seats when they were new and bypass shocks.
Nice.
First production
I
bypass
didn't mention
shocks.
those. It was first production car with full bypass shocks.
Okay.
And they are awesome.
We should put some King stickers on them.
Yeah, you should. That'd be hilarious.
But it was put together. They didn't spare expense putting it together, and consequently, the price when it first came out was not cheap.
Okay.
But you can get a good one now. It might need a bit of work, but if you've got $5 or $6 grand to spend, you can find a VX and you'll have a ball with it. I mean, it's just a lot of fun.
Right on.
Yeah, they are fun. It's like a little Go Devil when you drive it.
Yeah.
Turns on a dime. It's not the fastest, torquiest thing in the
No,
world, but it gets down the road, and everybody looks at, what the heck is it?
Yeah, it's unique.
I was surprised too because I'm pretty sure they're really similar wheelbase and about the same weight as a Samurai, about 80-inch wheelbase and somewhere around. Okay,
92.
So it's still nice and short.
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah.
Same as an old Bronco.
Okay, and then what do they weigh?
Well, unmolested, 39. They're not lightweight because they sit on the Trooper RS chassis. But about 39 stock.
Okay.
So it does have a frame.
It does have
It's not a
full frame.
unibody.
No,
Okay.
full frame.
Okay.
So is it true that I've read that they kind of used it as bait to get people into the dealership?
Yeah, I mean that's that's part of the whole calling it a halo vehicle, design exercise, tech exercise, and let's make something that people go, ooh, I've got to stop and go and look at that,
And then we'll sell you a Trooper.
we'll sell you a Trooper, or we'll sell you one of these, but
Because they were $31,000 base
31,
unit.
32 back in
Yeah,
'99, which was a lot of money.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Wow.
For
Yeah.
a little car that only had 2 doors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for a 2-door.
How many were produced? Do you know production numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you the exact ones, but ballpark figures.
Yeah.
4,153 in the American spec.
Okay.
439 of those were proton yellow.
And that's what yours is, Proton Yellow.
Proton Yellow.
Proton yellow.
I love these color names. Proton,
They've got
Yellow.
Proton Yellow. They've got Dragon Green. They've got Firefox Red. I mean, yes, some fun names.
How do I get that
Mine's
job of
ebony
naming
black.
colors? I want that job.
Yeah.
Naming cars.
I could
right.
come up with some good ones.
Give me a color name.
A color name?
Come on, name a color.
Well, you gotta show me the color first, so I can like
The Jeep.
the
My
Jeep.
my
which Jeep?
parents' orange Jeep.
It's not orange.
It's more yellow. It's more like school
Okay,
bus
wait.
yellow.
Don't tell
That's
them the name
kinda
of the color. I
sunflower.
want to
will
hear
tell you the
Jason's
name
version.
of the color. What color is that?
So I would call that short bus yellow. See, I can
There
come
you
up
go.
with shit pretty quick here.
Put a
We'll
stripe
go
and a
for that.
stop sign
Short
on the
bus
side of
yellow
it.
is what we're gonna call that.
So my son calls it baby blowout.
Baby blowout, or
Yeah.
or you could be baby's first summer. It could be that one too. See,
And the official color is dozer.
Dozer. Okay,
Dozer.
that one works. Dozer works.
So it's like a caterpillar dozer.
Yeah, yeah.
That
It's like
color.
caterpillar yellow.
Yeah, another one
Okay.
you can't miss.
There you
But
go.
numbers-wise, basically 6,000. 4,150 odd came to this country, and the US spec had a 3.5 engine, and then 1,800 roughly the JDM spec, Japanese domestic model,
Okay.
which had a 3.2.
Did they ever put diesels in them?
No,
They were always gas.
a couple of people are talking about doing diesel swaps.
Okay.
But no, it was all 6 gas,
Okay.
V6 gas, 3.2, 3.5.
Yeah, that's a good little motor for that size vehicle.
Yeah, we just hope it
About
makes it to
230
the
horse.
finish line.
Yeah.
It's nice and strong. It's not a tired old thing. It's
Well-
got less than 100,000 on it.
Yeah, we had Wolf Motors go through it, and she checked everything. and-
Yeah.
With you driving, it will make it across the
With Amber driving.
finish
dang
line.
Yeah, see, Amber, you are not qualified.
I'm driving. I don't care what you say.
You can drive at night when I can't see.
I can't see at night either.
And we have to get to
Oh,
the finish
great.
line before dark.
Oh boy.
Man. All right.
So that's cool. All right. So Alicia, so talk about some of the strategy because and kind of how Rebelle works, because I know there's a lot of fun involved too, but the meetups, you girls get wined and dined pretty good, I understand, but then you get debriefed in the morning and in your maps or whatever. I don't know, how does it go? I remember.
Well, it's all a schedule.
Uh-huh.
I mean, at least when I did it in 2017 at 5 o'clock, the cowbell went off, and that's pretty much when you were allowed to get out of your tent, start packing, start breaking down, and the navigators can go pick up their checkpoints for the day.
Okay.
And it does depend, at least my year, it depended on your start time. The earlier your start time, you could pick them up at like 5:30. The other teams had later times to pick it up. That was to give everybody an equal opportunity of the same amount of time to navigate.
Got it.
Do your navigation in the morning. For my girlfriend and I, it was all about a schedule. I picked up the points almost, very first thing. We were lucky enough to get a start time between 7 and 7:15 almost every morning. So we were up, got our points. She was able to get me breakfast. We were there both there for the 6 o'clock drivers and navigators meeting, which gives us the details for the day at the same time as finishing your navigation. And the first start time is 7. And you have to
Okay.
be there 15 minutes early. So you have to have your Jeep. If it's a day that you're breaking down camp, you have to have your Jeep loaded with all of your belongings, and both the driver and navigator in the seat with the helmets on 15 minutes before.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
Okay.
And you almost never get past maybe 5 to 9 checkpoints, because you can have up to 25 checkpoints in a day.
Wow.
And an enduro. So it's all about planning out your day and then cutting your losses. If
Okay.
you don't think you're going to make a checkpoint, you got to make a decision to give it up. And so you just plan the first quarter of your day, and then you start navigating as you go along and planning your day out so that you can end up where you need to be by the end of the day.
Interesting.
Can you talk about those checkpoints?
So they have 3 checkpoints. They have a green checkpoint, a blue checkpoint, and a black checkpoint. The green checkpoint has a bunch of people at it, big green flag. Can't miss it. It'll slap you in the face.
And they're mandatory, right?
They're mandatory, and they're even marked on your maps.
Yeah.
They don't tell you which one. You do have to figure out what the longitude, latitude, so you know which one. You usually have 2 or 3 a day. Blue checkpoints can be a blue flag, one of the razor flags in the middle of nowhere, or it can be one of those DOT type of sticks, and it's blue. It's probably, 3-4 feet tall,
Like a
sticking out.
Carsonite sign?
Not even a sign. It's a 5-inch wide strip.
The Carsonite sign.
You learned what Carsonite
Yeah,
was.
see?
All right, then yes, one of those.
Okay.
So
Trail
those
markers.
aren't
Yeah,
as
trail
visible because they can be out in the shrubbery.
Sure.
And so then the black checkpoints, there's nothing there. You literally, it's dead reckoning. You've got to plot out the black checkpoint. And then when you get there, you got to do a little bit of visual triangulation because the closer you are to those GPS points, the more points you get. So...
Oh, well, thank you, Randy Slauson.
It's Gold Digger.
Gold Digger started up there. Going to go
Leaving
test
camp.
drive it.
Don't scratch it.
Who's? Oh, boy.
Don't get it dirty either.
I know.
That
Let's
is
see
a
it.
beautiful rig.
Let's see if he can maneuver out of here. It looks like he's having
With
trouble
four-wheel
there.
steer?
Yeah, 4 steer.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the listeners right now. This is a total 180 offshoot. Sorry, Alicia.
Anyways. So go ahead. So you talking about the black checkpoint. So dead reckoning. So go ahead.
So the closer you are to the GPS points, the more points you get. And the exciting thing is they give you a tracking device. So you know as soon as you press the button on that tracking device how close you are. And there's a thrill that goes through you when you realize that you're only a couple degrees off.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to make sure our listeners understood because you have no electronic device is with you to navigate, but in order for them to give you a score at the end of the day, you have a tracker.
They call it the yellow brick.
They know exactly. So they know exactly where you are at all parts of the day.
You can't get lost. There's somebody looking at the map, making sure that nobody ends up in the military base or off in
Right.
Timbuktu on their own till 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Rich Klein was telling me a story about watching a couple teams got together and they started following each other and they were 4 hours off course.
Oh, boy.
And they couldn't intervene
Right.
because that would be giving them help.
Yep.
They just had to watch
They
them.
will send out somebody on occasion, like I talked about the third day where we got a little lost in the Nevada desert. We knew where we were at, but we were obviously off enough that one of the safety motorcycles just came by and waved at us to make sure that we were.
Give us a little, hey, how you
Heads
doing?
up, yeah.
So if we see Jimmy Lewis circling around us, you know we're in trouble.
Oh, geez.
You might want to check your maps, but yeah. So that you get a tracking device. All of the rigs are outfitted, and then you have a yellow brick that's issued to you. And so when you get to any of your checkpoints, you press the button, and it displays the longitude and latitude.
Okay.
And then you write that down on your check sheet for the day.
Okay.
And that's what you turn in at the end of the day, and they double check that against what they
Got it.
record in the yellow brick.
Okay.
And then that's your points for the day. And the point standings are really quick. Usually about an hour after the teams start coming in, your points start showing up.
Wow. Okay. That's cool.
Should we look at our points?
Oh, it's fun.
Okay.
To see how good, how well you did, and how it's actually gave us a boost when we realized we were in the 80%.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not racers. We don't do off-road competitions. We didn't off-road or race on a weekly basis like some of these top contenders do. And to see us in the top 80%, it gives you a boost as a
That
team.
would be a boost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the very first, not the first time I did a rock crawl, but the one that I won at. I remember looking at the standing at the end of the day, and I went to Delta thinking, I'm just gonna rock crawl, I'm just gonna have fun, and looked at the point standing, and I was already in first place by a landslide, and I won by a landslide the next day, and that was a huge oh my god, we can actually do this.
See, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's important to see, your results at the end of the day. And maybe even if you didn't do so good, it's okay, well, here's where we need to improve or whatever. But, getting that, like you described, Alicia, it's okay, I think we're on it. and hit the button and go, yes, or darn it, we missed it by, whatever degrees. But that's got to be, it's got to be intense.
Well, it's, it keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because there's times that we circled looking for a little blue stick, and then I talked to like my husband, and he's watching us on the live mapping.
Yeah.
He says, "You guys circled it 6 times. Why couldn't you find it?"
He's yelling at the screen.
Oh gosh,
idiots! It's right there to your left. No, to your right now.
Yeah, and I know that exact point, and it's a bunch of rocky outcrops, and who knows? It could have been behind a rock we decided not to drive behind. I mean, that's that kind of where they put some of this stuff out in this wide open spaces, and and that's one of those days we had decided to cut our losses and move on to the next point because we were sure where that next point was. You just can't bang your head after a while.
So they do get a little tricky out there then, trying to hide some of these from you, and then of course the black ones. That's like you gotta.
Well, not only do they try to hide them from you, but there are 2 different. You have Group A and Group B. And there are different flags for Group A and Group B. So if you there was one canyon on day 2, we came up on a blue flag, and I'm, as a navigator, going, that is not ours. This is not the terrain. And, well, are you sure? I says, no, we need to go down about 0.2 of a mile. We turned 2 more corners, and there was our blue flag.
Wow.
So just because you come upon a flag doesn't mean it's your flag.
Got it. Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Always double check your coordinates.
Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Lots of good nuggets in this one.
Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking, Amber, you're going to be navigator. How comfortable? I know you've been training a lot. So how comfortable are you doing all this mapping stuff now?
Actually, I'm feeling really, really good about it. Like my mom said earlier, I'm used to reading a tape measure and going down to finite measurements.
Sure.
And so I do that every day at work, and it comes naturally to me almost. And that's basically what it is. Finding a coordinate on the map is splitting this map, which is a square, into smaller squares. They're not perfect squares,
right?
Because it's a map and the Earth is curved.
It's round.
Sorry,
curved.
flat earthers, but it's
round.
curved.
Oh,
sorry to bust your bubble, Jason.
That's a whole nother podcast right there.
Hello.
Talk about dropping nuggets. All right. Okay, go ahead.
So, anyways, it's just a matter of busting bigger squares into smaller squares and finding the point on the map. And I think probably my biggest holdup is just going to be just reading the terrain on the map, because I'm a little too literal, I guess. I just want to go straight there.
So you gotta read the topography, because between where you are currently and where this checkpoint is, this flag, could be a huge mountain.
Yeah, a huge mountain or a pile of rocks or a bunch of bushes or some trees or something.
Or a bunch of rocks that look the same on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out a way around that said obstacle to get to that point. So that's okay.
I did that with a couple bushes in training, but the terrain was pretty flat. But I was really excited when we did Rebelle Rally training back in May. They gave us 2 basically black checkpoints where we just mapped it and then went to it. And I was able to cross-reference it with my phone when we got there, and I checked. And we were within 5 feet of the first one, and then I stepped on a bush and I had a stick in my foot. And we were within 15 feet of the second one.
So she's hopping on one foot through the desert because the compass won't work inside the car.
Oh.
Because of the metal around you.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to get out and actually do your compass headings outside the car.
Wow.
So she's hopping around, and then when we finally did check it and she saw how close we were, you should have seen her eyes.
I just lit up.
It's like, oh crap, I'm in trouble now. Amber's got the bug. I don't have to talk her into this anymore.
Cool.
There was no talking me into this. I'm all for this.
That's epic. Okay, so then, so you're doing the navigating, so you come back. So is there a hard cutoff time? Like everybody's be back at camp at 5, or how does that work?
There is the checkpoints actually have time windows.
Okay.
Particularly the green ones. You have to make the green ones within the window.
Okay.
So at least the year that I did it, you did have an ending time, but it was after dark. It wasn't like 5 o'clock. We had teams coming in at 8, 9 o'clock at night. And honestly, I don't think they ever actually brought anybody in. I know we had some teams that were out really late, but as long as you haven't crossed the finish line, other teams can actually assist you. So this is the neat thing about the Rebelle.
Okay.
It is not on your own, no outside assistance. You can have assistance from other competitors, and there is a spirit award that they give out for and the competitors vote who should get the spirit award at the end of the Rebelle Rally for somebody who really went above and beyond in helping another competitor. The year I was there, we had one of the all-wheel drives actually bust their oil pan. Okay. And had to be towed back. And another competitor in the four-wheel drive category actually towed them back so they could make it back in camp. You have people loaning each other tools, jacks, things that on the trail because they can't, they've broken down, got to change a tire. So you can work together with your competitors, and you see it all the time.
So in that instance, that team with the four-wheel drive that pulled them back to camp, they forfeited their whatever left.
Yeah, they had like, I think we were headed to Glamis on a Friday, and it ends on a Sunday, and they did that on Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then when you get back and you turn in your scorecard for the day, per se. So what happens then? Then you get to relax and
so
let
basically
your hair down a little bit.
you have an hour to get everything out of your vehicle. At least my year there was an hour out to get everything. So when you first come in, you go through the finish line. They check you in. You get your start time for the next day, and then they would send you to gas.
Okay.
And so you would fuel up, and from gas, you could go to the mechanics, or you could park your vehicle for the night. Once you park it, you have 1 hour to unload everything you need for the night, and then the vehicle is off limits.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if you forget your toothbrush, you forget your underwear, you're SOL.
You got no toothbrush.
Or they ding you for it, right?
That year it was
completely off limits.
It was off limits.
Okay.
They might have some disqualification points. Again, I did this in 2017, and it was only the second year that they had held it.
Okay.
And they have made a lot of significant changes for the good since then that has made it an even better competition for everybody. So you have an hour to unpack your tent, get tent set up, and by then dinner is being served. You can, if the showers are ready or if they're available, you can definitely go take showers. There's a lounging area.
So I heard the dinners are like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and hot dogs and stuff, right?
They're more a little gourmet than that. Pizzas and steaks.
Drew Deckman, who's a Michelin star chef out of Mexico, and he is the cook, the chef.
I heard there's some excellent chow at these things.
Definitely.
So that's cool. That's something to look forward to at the end of the day.
Yeah, they feed you well. They do accommodate dietary needs too.
Okay.
They do ask you that in your application, so that if you have, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or whether you're gluten free, there's always options available for you.
Okay. Very cool. And then you go to bed, and then the next morning you start all over again. You get that cowbell wake up. It's a cowbell?
She runs through camp with a cowboy. That's your signal that you can leave your tent. Yep.
Is that Emily Miller that does that, or who
it
does
was.
that?
My understanding, she does that every year, every morning.
That's her thing.
To run around camp and wake everybody up.
Emily Miller doesn't sleep for a week.
I would imagine.
I wouldn't imagine a couple weeks before either.
Yeah, a KOH week either. Man, I like the Rubicon Rooster idea. They might need to upgrade to the Rubicon Rooster for that event.
Tell me what that is.
You don't know what the Rubicon Rooster
It
is?
was a Jeepers.
Yeah, Jeepers Jamboree. Yeah, they light off basically a quarter stick of dynamite in the meadow of Rubicon Springs, and it echoes like you wouldn't believe through that canyon there.
It's like 7 o'clock, like right before sunrise, when the kitchen crew is supposed to get up.
No, it was 5 a.m. this past. It's usually between like 5 and 6. The first morning it was like 7:30. And I didn't know what it was. I mean, I thought a bomb went off or something. I'm like, holy smokes. And then you hear tent zippers undoing and everything, and it's like, okay. And I go, what the hell is that? And they go, oh, that was the Rubicon Rooster. I'm like, well, it frickin' works. And then so that was Friday morning. Saturday morning was 5 a.m.
Right.
So,
yeah,
anyways,
I don't
the
think
wake-up call.
I learned that was actually like a thing at Jeepers until I got back from it.
Yeah.
So I just kept hearing this cannon blast every morning, and I was like, what's going on?
So, fun fact, Charlene Bauer's dad, Ben Bowers, used to play Reverie on the trumpet. When the Rubicon Rooster would go off, then he would play that.
Oh, that must have been
But
so cool.
he goes, his lips can't do it anymore, so he doesn't do it anymore. But he goes, yeah, that's great. So, anyways. All right, so with all this info, I know you've been, you guys have been studying and everything. So what I know you feel prepared, but I guess what's like your biggest apprehension going into this event?
For me, it's having the endurance, physically having the endurance. You know, I'm an early bird. I can get up.
Right.
But when it comes 3 o'clock, I want to go charge
Little
my phone and
siesta.
go lay in bed
Yeah.
and plug it in for an
Yeah.
hour and take a nap. But,
Yeah.
you know, there's no naps there. So
Okay. So what are you going to do to combat that?
I've got
Monster
some-
energy drinks or
No,
something?
I don't.
Don't
do that
get my
kind of
mom jacked
stuff.
up on caffeine.
Yeah.
You don't want me
All
jacked, up.
on Mountain Dew.
Yo!
I got some really good suggestions from Nicole from
Okay.
Total Chaos, and so I've got some vitamins and some B12. I'm gonna down that. And just keep hydrated.
Hydration is the
Hydrated
key.
is the key. So I plan on hydrating us with supplements every morning,
Yeah.
and then starting that process.
So staying hydrated, are you going to wear a catheter? You going to be full race mode, Amber?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
No, but we did. The Mercedes supplied us with our little Tinkerbells.
Oh, Tinkerbells. All right.
Tinkerbells.
Cool.
So we figured out that we can pee like boys.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's awesome.
The Shiwi.
I have always wanted to
Basically,
pee
yeah.
like a boy.
Got Jonathan's attention. He's like, wait a minute, I need one of those.
Disturbing.
He goes, I don't have to sit down anymore to pee?
Wow.
Guys. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
this
so we've
podcast goes off the
we've
rails.
got our little Tinkerbells and what's your biggest apprehension, Amber?
What's my biggest apprehension? Probably just, like I said, navigating around trees and rocks and stuff like that. Just going for 10 days, coming back to your whole endurance factor, that's going to be a crazy one for me because I've had, for the last 6 weeks, I've been working nonstop trying to finish Gold Digger with Randy and my coworker, and I was just at Expo, and then I'm here, and then I've got 10 more days where I have to be on all the time, so I don't get any vacation.
Is the rally's 7 days long, right?
You have day 0 on Friday. Day 1 is Saturday, and it ends in Glamis on the following Saturday.
Okay.
So it's 8 days of stages.
Okay.
And 10 days total of being at the Rebelle.
Got it.
So just being able to make it through the next 10 days is...
Yeah.
I'm pretty apprehensive about that, but I think I can do it.
Oh, you totally can do it. You guys are...
And if we go in with the attitude that we're going in for fun
Right.
and adventure, that's what we've got.
That's actually the part that I'm probably most excited about, besides getting to drive with my mom. That is the most exciting
You
part.
mean ride
thank
with
you,
your
honey.
mom. Ride
Yeah.
with your mom.
Okay, fine. Jeez.
She keeps trying to drive.
I have a spare key.
Actually, we have plenty of spare
Right.
keys.
No, but so I'm really excited for the whole adventure aspect.
Yes.
Because just driving around Nevada is a blast. We go stock mobbing all the time in our
Sure.
little stock vehicles and just do the same kind of deserty crap that I just love it. And so I'm really excited to go wherever the course goes. I'm excited. I really hope we get to go through Death Valley. Really, really hope.
Okay.
But just to see the scenery and have that experience of just being out there, I'm really excited for.
I know one year they had they got clearance to camp in Titus Canyon,
Oh, wow.
which nobody has gotten clearance.
Wow.
Because there was a big windstorm or something
Okay.
going on.
Okay.
And Emily got clearance, and
Wow.
they camped in Titus Canyon, which was
Wow.
awesome. I'm excited to see some things.
Yeah.
some adventures in the desert.
That's the big takeaway. I think this whole mother-daughter trip of a lifetime adventure is it's just going to be a huge bucket list item for you guys. You guys are going to look back on this forever, the memories and everything, and go, wow. I mean, just flat out wow, right?
I kept waking up like last week, I think before I left Thursday or Friday, and I was like, all right, this is the point where my life changes.
Yeah.
I'd wake up every morning. I was like, it's never going to be the same again.
Is that true, Alicia?
I would agree. I mean, it's an experience of a lifetime. I don't think I could ever repeat it, even if I decided to do the Rebelle Rally a second time. That first experience, I just think, is unrepeatable. The exhilaration of, like you said about doing something that you've never done before, just so that you can.
Yeah.
I mean, not many people get that opportunity. And particularly for people that aren't just truly like in the racing industry or don't do this as a profession, just to be able to go and do something at that level and then come out the other end. I mean, it's life-changing.
I mean, so how empowering is that? Or I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's part of the proper terminology. But I mean, I got to imagine when you come back home and 3, 4, 5 days later when you finally like come back down to earth, and you're just like, holy crap, all that stuff I was scared of or stuff, look what we just did. We navigated across this crazy terrain without modern technology, and we fixed a tire out in the middle of nowhere. We got back to camper. I mean, all this stuff has got to just reinforce that I can do whatever I set my mind to, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it makes you realize that you put limitations on yourself.
Yeah.
And that really, if you just think outside the box a little bit more, you could do anything.
Right. And ties right back into Jessie Combs, what she did in her short time on this earth, but how impactful she was and how she motivated you guys to make this happen, which is super freaking cool. She's not with us, unfortunately, but she's still making an impact, right?
She's making an impact.
Yeah.
How did she make an impact on your life,
Yeah.
Amber?
I thought I told the story in the first podcast.
You did, but
Tell it again.
it should be repeated here.
Well, I mean, going all the way back, I grew up watching her on
Overhauling or
No, dang it. Extreme 4x4.
Extreme
with
4x4 with
Yeah.
Ian Johnson.
Yep, that one. So I grew up watching her on that show, and I was like kind of into cars when I was a kid, and I was like, well, there's this girl working on cars, so I guess I could do that too. And then I bought my Samurai and I wanted to work on it, so I took a welding class in community college. And I think the second class that we had, Jessie was in an American Welding Society video. And I was at that point in my life, I was young, I didn't know what I wanted to do as like a career. And I saw her in the AWS video and I was like, well, if Jessie can do it, I can do it. So I initially took the class just to build a set of rock sliders for my Samurai.
That's right, yeah.
And then I ended up taking all the classes that the community college offered. So now I'm a welder.
There you go.
And that's also why she started racing. KOH was after Jessie passed.
Yeah, after Jessie passed, I was talking to Stuart, my co-driver,
Right.
my brother, and I was like, one of my big goals is, I've always wanted to race King of the Hammers because we'd been going for so long at that point.
Right.
And he's like, just do it. And I was like, oh, crap. Okay.
I guess we're doing it.
Yep. So we did. And here we are. And that was the same kind of life-changing experience where you go into it with like this wild card. Like, is this something I can actually achieve? And you come out the other side and you look back and you're like, holy crap, I did that. I can do anything.
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Yep.
There you go.
And I think that was the way she thought too.
Yeah.
She could do anything.
No,
She was
they're-
an amazing woman.
No walls that she couldn't climb over, man. It was just...
Yeah. and always with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And I asked her one time at SEMA, she'd been out on the SEMA floor signing autographs and everything, talking to everybody. I said, Jessie, how do you smile so long? She said, I love it.
Just,
And
yeah.
it's like, oh, give me that lesson. It's,
Yeah.
she really deeply loved being in the public eye
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
and doing what she did.
And
And for that reason, that's our charity.
Yeah.
Is the Jessie Combs Foundation.
Yeah.
We believe that women in the trades should be supported. And that's what the Jessie Combs Foundation does.
Exactly. So you have a few sponsors you want to shout out for the Rebelle?
Yeah, we sure do. We
Okay.
have a lot of people that have helped us along the way. It's really wonderful.
It's
The
yeah.
Jesse Combs Foundation for one.
absolutely.
Yeah, and Elite Motors. They have done our wrap for us.
Okay.
And the Toby stickers.
And the
Oh, they did.
Oh, yeah.
What's the story with the Toby stickers?
Oh my gosh. So Toby's one of my best friends. When I first started racing, he used to race Land Cruiser in 4600.
Okay.
So I went to him for race advice. And he gave me all of it. It was great. He's like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So he's always told me that he'd sponsor me if I put a picture of his head on the side of my helmet.
Oh no.
So
Now we have pictures of Toby's head. It's
But
a floating head.
And you didn't do that at Hammers or anything before, huh?
it's been in the works. So now it's
Oh,
finally
my
happening.
Gosh. Oh, this is hilarious.
Because our rapper, Elite
Yeah.
Motors, I said, we need a head. And so he says, well, I got 30 inches wide. I can print 30 of them. It's like, all right.
Do you know Toby?
I
Toby's
think
last
I
name?
do. Who's
Snivelous.
Toby?
Snivelous.
I don't ring a bell. That image of him is very disturbing, though.
Yep, that's Toby. And Toby.
That Toby.
Toby,
That's
Toby.
Toby. I know Toby.
Oh, Toby.
That's an ongoing
Bring
joke
it-
on the podcast.
Bringing it all the way back to what
When-
Hammers this year.
When is Toby coming to camp?
Toby only lives down the road.
I know.
I know.
He's
He
like
should
right
have
around
been
the
in
corner.
He's got a day job. He'll be here later in the week, apparently. I'm
Okay.
going to miss him.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to miss him. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, back to sponsors.
Yeah, sponsors.
Well, I guess
go.
because Toby's a sponsor, too.
Toby's a sponsor.
Got BD Fabrication, the parent company of Trail Tough.
Oh.
They've always helped me out a lot, so they're on the list of sponsors. So Moto Wolf, Ava.
That's Ava, and Ava has gone through the Vehicross completely and fixed lots of things that needed to be fixed. And she's built a Vehicross before, her and her boyfriend
Yep.
Colin, and they are former. Well, she was a former GMC engineer welder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
not
now
know that.
she has another job.
At Jay Leno's garage. Can
I
we
don't-
say that?
I don't know if we can say that.
Well,
but
you just
we
said it.
Okay, well, just in case, you can edit it out.
Okay,
But
so
I have to reach out to her about that one.
She got a job at Jay Leno's garage.
she's a badass.
Yeah.
She is.
Very
she
cool.
is. And who else is on our list?
Step 22 gear.
Step 22 Gear supplied us with these great containerized
Those bags
things.
are badass.
Oh,
They are
yeah.
badass. I was so surprised. Like, initially we got them because I was threatening to use a bigger bag for Rebelle Rally, and my mom was like, "No, let's just get these ones." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And I've been using that thing all summer.
Really?
For Rubicon trips.
Okay.
It packs up. It's a perfect like cube. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Step 22 has some really nice
Yeah.
bags. And the tool bag.
Yeah, their tool roll
That roll-
is
yeah,
next
tool
level.
roll.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a nice tool roll.
Yeah, like I said, I was skeptical on it, but that thing is so handy.
Yeah.
So Step 22 is going with us.
Okay.
Yep. And then the next one on the list is BF Goodrich tires.
Ooh,
BFG.
it's rolling on BFG all
Oh,
terrain.
yeah, just like
Okay.
every winter at Baja.
Yeah.
So you don't have reds on there, huh?
I wish.
You got some road miles to put down, so those
Yeah.
you'd probably be changing out a couple sets of reds.
Yep, they're all trains.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
So-
Good tire there.
Yep.
Okay.
Warren Industries.
Oh, Warren, they've been a blessing.
They've
Yep.
always supported. I mean, it's amazing. They do a lot. Obviously, they make a great product. Warren Factor 55, all that recovery gear. So that's super cool that they're helping you out.
And that
Yeah.
leads to Factor 55. Yeah.
That's the next one on the list.
yeah, and they're taking care of us, getting us some recovery equipment.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're the recommended recovery gear of Rebelle Rally.
Oh, there
too.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
And then Avalanche. Well, sorry, I skipped one.
Uh-oh.
Bomber Fabrication.
Bomber
Bomber.
fabrication. Yeah, Randy's giving her a couple days off so she can go play
Hey,
with me.
what a nice guy.
I also use his ATEC account. But yeah, and then his crew chief, Nick, Avalanche Technical,
Yeah,
is
Nick
another one of
Bailey.
our sponsors. Yep,
Yep.
he's letting us borrow some of his recovery gear.
Very cool.
Yeah. Tire Right.
Tire right.
Coby.
It's around here somewhere. Got Alicia right in front
Alicia.
of you.
Alicia, Coby, Tire
Yep.
Right. Tell us about Tire Right.
Tire Right, we hand assemble high-end tire gauges and inflation devices.
And you know what? It's really important with the TOD, the torque on demand, that those tires all have the same pressure.
They're equalized.
Or it'll screw it up.
Yep, it's highly accurate to like 0.2, I think it is. And I think you guys are looking for 1 or 2 PSI basically to make sure that they're all even around. And these are digital gauges that we hand assemble.
They're great.
Yeah.
And they're
Terrific
very
product.
durable because she's taken them in her race car, right?
Oh yeah, no, I had the mini gauge in my toolbox for the whole Hammers race,
Yeah.
and it survived. And it's been in my tool bag all summer, surviving still.
Yep.
And that thing just takes a beating.
And
They're made to take a beating for sure.
How many rollovers has it been involved in, Amber?
None this year.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do you want to talk to your brother?
I don't count tips.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If it's on its lid, that's the only thing that matters.
There you go. That's funny. All right.
And then we've got Off the Grid Surplus,
Oh, nice.
the clothing company.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I love their pants. I rep them. Those are the only pants I work in. They are terrific. They make a great product.
Terrific.
Yeah. You can find them in 511 tactical stores. And I know they've got a couple stores down in Southern California, but they're durable and they've got all the pockets like most women's pants don't.
Yeah.
So
Pockets are important with the Rebelle.
And they are designed for women, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for working
women that
of the
work,
trades.
yeah, in the trades or
Yeah.
off road
Yeah.
or in tactical, I guess.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
yeah, it's a terrific product. And the last one on my list is Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey.
Wheeling wine and whiskey.
Yeah, they sent us a check, didn't they?
Yes.
A nice
Yeah.
big fat check.
It was signed by Lorenzo. I don't know if it's going to cash, but good
Oh,
luck.
I was hoping it was signed by Chris. Dang it.
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
signed by Chris, it's definitely
Now
good.
we
but
have to
by-
challenge Snail
by-
Trail
by-
to get
yeah,
out there.
you should.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, they ought to be on the list actually because they gave us the tire patch kit.
Oh.
Actually, Laura from who's doing the Rebelle, she approached Snail Trail, said, "You're sponsoring them. Why aren't you sponsoring us?"
Oh my goodness.
No, I love getting the story out, and this is a great story. I cannot wait to follow up. We're going to be watching online.
Okay, you can watch at
Right?
rebellerally.com.
We're not going to... Okay, say that again.
Rebellerally.com.
Okay, and then you are Team Rockin' the Dot, so there's just team names. There's no number associated with it?
168.
Oh,
Team
so
number
there you go.
168.
It's real
Rockin' the
close
Dot.
to 468.
Yep, her race number is 468.
That's right.
So we got 168.
Okay, nice.
We are in the 4x4 class because we do have a 2-speed transfer case.
Yep.
So, yes, we're not in the all-wheel drive.
Okay, all right.
This year, there's quite a few vehicles that are in
Yeah,
the
you were
rally.
reading off this list this morning, and that was pretty
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Yeah, so we have in the rally this year 18 Jeeps, 11 Toyotas, 6 Ford Broncos, 1 Nissan Xterra, a Defender, a 90s Defender, an Lexus GX 460,
Bougie.
Ram Rebelle,
Rebelle.
a Mercedes G550,
Ooh,
A
super
Rivian.
bougie.
Swanky stuff.
yeah, the Rivian R1T, and the new Rivian R1S.
Ooh, so you're going to have the truck and the SUV, I think. Is that
I
it?
think
Maybe?
I don't know. I
Wonder
have
if the
no
SUV is gonna
idea
be
what
there.
the R1S is. I haven't seen it yet.
No.
And then a Mobius,
Oh, I've heard of that.
Mobius from Kenya.
Kenya, yeah. It's like I think it is like a Mercedes-esque
And
vehicle.
the first Isuzu Vehicross.
Woohoo! Rocking the V-Cross dots.
Rocking the dots.
I love
yes.
it.
Well, and I also don't think we mentioned that the Rebelle Rally is international. They do have people that come over from other countries
Right.
to race this. Or it is. Let me rephrase that.
It's
not
a race.
race.
It's not a race. It's a rally.
It's a rally to participate in the rally.
right.
We've got teams hail from 94 cities, 24 states and provinces.
Providence.
Say it
Providence?
again.
That word.
Provinces.
Yeah.
There you go. And 5 countries. Each team consists of a driver, navigator, and their vehicle. No personal support.
Great.
crews. Competitors range in age from 23 to 74. So I'm not the oldest one.
Whoa.
Wow, that's awesome. No, watch the other 74-year-olds kick ass. It's like, wow. Let's see.
You can do anything you set your mind
Right.
to.
Yes, that's
Right.
right. We can all do hard things. 54 competitors are returning Rebels, and 56 are new rally rookies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's the lineup.
Well, this is exciting. So you don't get to call out during after dinner or something? Are you able to reach back out to the family or something?
They're charged $5 a phone call. We can call for 3 minutes, and they discourage it. It's only for emergencies.
Got it. Okay.
But I think one of the new things they're doing, they are allowing social media contacts. Correct? It's not with you guys, but isn't this some
We
of
can
the?
have a social media manager, which will be the Huntress,
Christina, who's
Loopy.
here in camp, just
Yes,
arrived at camp
yes.
yesterday.
She
is
will be
going-
our social
That's
media
great.
manager, and they will feed information to her.
Okay.
And she can put it on our Instagrams and
Okay,
our
great.
Facebooks.
So we're going to be able to follow up. So on your page, Amber.
Yep, my page, and she'll be
Zippers.
going live on Dolly Golly's
And
page.
then Dolly
It's gonna
Golly.
go live.
And we're out. No. So
No, we're out.
she's still.
Hello, Chris.
I cheat that one up. So, final thoughts for them, Alicia, before they embark on this crazy, wonderful adventure.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is just water under the bridge. Have fun and go with it.
Yep, that's it. Have fun.
All right.
How about it, Joe?
Joe, you got any final thoughts for them on the V-Cross? Just don't let Amber drive, I think, is number one.
Yeah, keep it 4 down.
Keep it four down. There
four
we
down.
go.
Dang it.
All right, Amber, any final thoughts here?
I'm just talking about the sponsors just now. I got a little overwhelmed with how much support we've had going into this whole thing, and I'm just there's got to be some names that I missed, but I'm super thankful for everyone that's been
Sure.
behind us, helping us get to this point in the last year that we've spent, tirelessly working towards it.
Oh,
so
we forgot your dad.
Oh, yeah, Dad.
Dad.
Oh, yeah, Dad. Okay.
Aw.
Oh.
Start tearing up, Dad. That's hard.
You're going to have a whole week or 10 days of the house to yourself. What are you going to do?
We've got a full house anyways with all the people that live with us, so I won't be alone.
and he's going to be here
Right.
for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you-
at Trail Hero, we're leaving all our friends and our family here
I
at
know,
Trail Hero.
I know.
That just means we get to plug you in on Saturday and Sunday, and as
Yeah.
a group cheer you on from Trail Hero.
Oh, gosh,
that's gonna be
yes.
cool.
I'm going to be able to feel that from thousands of
Yes.
miles away.
Yes, feeling the love.
All the love.
Final thoughts, Dolly?
This has been a hard one.
Yeah.
Today it's been a hard one.
Good. Well, it's awesome. That's what it's all about, these life experiences. You guys are doing it right. You got tons of support, and you're going to kick some ass. You're going to kick some ass. So
We got this, Ma.
We just want to finish and
what do they say?
Have fun.
You got to finish first before you first, or you got to first finish before you finish first. Something
Come
like
on,
that.
thank you, Miles.
Yeah, that's my
you have to finish first before you can finish first.
No, this is great.
If you're not first, you're last.
That's right. That's right.
We shall see. It's going to be an adventure with
Heck
that little car.
Oh,
so
it's-
look for it on the Rebelle.com.
It will.
RebelleRally.com.
It'll be hard to miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how it works, let's make sure of this, Alicia. They do video when they go off the starting line, right?
Well, see, they have so many more advancements since I did it in 2017. They're doing on their Facebook page and I think on their Instagram, their
YouTube.
social media and YouTube, they do live events. You can actually interviews. They do live reporting from on the road and the trail with video of the competitors. They really have stepped up their game in the last 5 years with how they promote everybody during the race.
Right.
We were almost literally in the dark when I did it in 2017, as far as family members being able to see live shots of us until the end. It was just the tracking on the rebellerally.com, but there's so many other different avenues, and if you go to rebellerally.com, they will have links for family members and those that are interested in experiencing it, tracking it, maybe seeing if it's something they want to do themselves in the future, that they can actually click down to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
And make those comments.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I know it works. Amber did one of her races at KOH. And afterwards, Simon came up to me. He runs the page for KOH during the event. And he says, we had to get the drones on her because there was so much demand in the comments. And I thought, wow.
Yeah.
It really works. So comments. Make comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cheer on your favorite team when you're on your social media, YouTube.
Right on.
Let them know.
Well, and Dolly and Amber are so shy in front of the camera, so I'm sure it's going to be tough to get them on camera and stuff. So we'll see how this works out. All right. I think with that, Dolly, we're
out. We're out. No. Amber?
Are we out?
We're out.
We're out.
We're out.
We're out.
Well,
Deep
the Rebelle
subject.
Rally. What do you think? You want to put on a skirt and compete next year? we could be like what was that TV show where the guys dress like girls to get into the
Bosom Buddies.
apartment? It was Bosom Buddies.
Bosom, and that was Tom Hanks.
It was Tom Hanks. Wow, that is going way back.
Holy smokes. Yeah, we date ourselves
That's
all
bad.
the time on this show.
That is bad. But I was just thinking, because they do have a ladies' run at Trail Hero.
Uh-huh.
And some of the guys dress up with skirts and dresses and wigs and stuff. Yeah, and go out and wheel. Or their right seats, to help out or whatever if they need help.
Uh-huh.
It is hilarious. So, we could do that in Rebelle next year.
Oh, boy.
Just
The Wheeling
put
Wine
on some
Whiskey
skirts.
goes drag. Oh, no, don't you
boy.
mean you're running drag? No, we are going drag.
No, we are going running drag. I don't know. Who knows? Everything's acceptable nowadays.
I know, right?
But
the world's crazy.
But it sounds
man.
like a ton
Crazy.
of fun. They've got support if they need it.
Yeah.
Their goal is that you don't need it. You don't need mechanical. You don't have to go get rescued out in the desert. So, they are full navigating without any modern technology.
No electronics.
No. So it's intense. I mean, it's not for the weary there. And, you got that little safety net in the background, but there's some serious terrain.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out how to get to that flag. And as Alicia described, there's like the flag, the green flag that's just out in the middle that's super easy to get to, and then blue's a little more technical, and then there's no flag. It's just a point that you got to get to. So, and of course it's all timed, and it's I don't know, man. It sounds pretty damn difficult.
Yeah.
But
well,
then
they
you end
should
up.
up it a little bit and make it kind of like the Hunger Games too. So
Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, I understand they don't go hungry and they eat pretty well. They
That's
have
what
some
I'm hearing.
Michelin star chef cooking their meals. So sounds like a nice vacation too while you're at it. So
yeah, I mean, if that's your thing.
as long as you can navigate your way back to camp.
So do we know where the finishing point is yet? I guess that was kind of a secret.
Glamis.
Huh?
I think it was Glamis. They said
Glamis, huh?
down
Oh.
in Southern California. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So they are, currently competing. Christina, the huntress, has taken over Dolly and Amber's accounts and have been doing updates.
Right.
Unfortunately, they're not doing great, but there's still a lot of Rebelle Rally left. So maybe they're just hitting their stride and going to get going here. So hopefully, but I guarantee they are having a freaking blast. And I know Dolly and Amber were both very emotional, and it's like, just a huge bucket list item for them. And, Rockin' the Dots is their team name, and for Jesse Combs. And, now that movie's coming out
Right.
With Jesse documentary. So, it's just cool how it all ties in and how passionate they are about off-roading and empowering women to get off-road and get involved and do this stuff. So yeah, that's the takeaway message here. Regardless of how they finish, it's hey, we're gonna plan for this. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna have a blast. And that's what
absolutely.
they're doing.
They're making great memories, some mother-daughter memories. That's super awesome. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So it's fun to follow along and watch these teams. So you can go to the Rebelle Rally website.
That's correct. REBELLE. So make sure you spell it right. Rebelle.
Yeah,
you can Google
that's right.
And
It's LLE.
yeah, they have a live tracker on there. It's kind of fun to watch. And so let me get this straight. They do not actually have their phones at all.
No.
So does Christina actually currently possess their phones, literally?
No, she possesses their access to their IG accounts. So
okay.
she has the password and everything to get into the account and do updates. She's done that at Hammers, in the past for Amber. So that's pretty cool.
Right.
So that's how she's getting the updates out from their accounts.
That's right. So right now I'm Rebelle Rally. So it's REBELLE Rally RALLY.com. So Rebelle Rally is one word. You go to that website and they have a link in there for live tracking. And yeah, super cool.
Yeah, so you can find out it's Team 168 is Dolly and Amber, and Rockin' the Dots 168. So you can look for the little icon. I think it's that. They got a yellow brick. So Alicia was explaining there's two different GPS units that they have. So a yellow brick, which is what the racers use. So that's what's showing up on this live tracking to see where they are on course. And then they have the other GPS unit that they hit the button when they're on their waypoint that they're supposed to hit. And then that will notify them how close they were to that waypoint. And that's all they know at that point. So they do get some cool satisfaction. It's like, I think it's right here, and then they hit it, and then boom, it'll verify or not how far off they were.
I did not know that.
So
it's kind of funny to watch some of the day's history and speed it up and whatnot. And it's like some people kind of go off in the wrong direction.
Go a little wayward.
It's like Keystone Cops or something.
Yeah. It's
put some music to it.
The Benny Hill music.
Benny Hill music, exactly.
Yeah. So there it is. So I guess they finish up Sunday, right?
That's correct.
So
I believe that.
Yep.
Coming up soon. So, yeah, this episode's timely. We wanted to get it dropped earlier in the week, but things have been a little chaotic in both Jason's and my lives. So, but we're as usual. We're making it happen. This episode will drop Thursday morning.
Thursday morning.
And hopefully
Happy
everybody
Thursday.
Enjoys the content there. And then we're Jason and I are going to meet in the next couple of days, and we'll get the rest of these episodes queued up. And we'll get back We'll get back on schedule.
So when they get back from the Rebelle Rally, we're going to circle back and do a post follow-up of how everything went and get some killer stories from Dolly and Amber.
Oh, absolutely.
So that'll be a fun follow-up episode as well. So, good stuff for now. I think that covers it. And hopefully you enjoyed it and got a little insight of what this all-girls Rebelle Rally is all about, and following the journey along with them, Team 168 rocking the dots.
Girl power.
There you go.
All right. So if you want to get a hold of Jason or Chris, you can email us at Jason or Chris at wheelingwinewhiskey.com. You can also get a hold of us through the IG at Wheeling Wine Whiskey. And, of course, do not ever forget about our phone number, which is 408-800-5169. And you can leave a voicemail, and we'll most likely play it on the show.
Yes, and we have some new voicemails. So 408-800-5169. Give us a call. And, I've got some great stuff coming. So hold on to your hats, people. All right.
It's gonna be
I think, Chris, with that,
we're out.